those who have got seats, you can take your seats. I think we are going to move in this fashion. We'll first allow the president to give us his speech. Then later on, we are going to have a set of questions, which we'll see how we are going to do it. I think the president, sir, it's now the time for destination.
Thank you very much, and I welcome all of you for coming here, and apologies for late start. The press statement is actually quite short, and then after that we will take some questions. So I'll read my statement, it's a written one, and then afterwards one of my assistants will dish out copies. So this is a statement delivered by me, Sampa, the President of the Patriotic Front, the PF, this day, 17th July 2024, here in Lusaka. The introduction of my speech is that colleagues and citizens to speak out, to point out things that are going correct in our country, and also speak out on things in power are faced with a feast of challenges that rival a Shakespearean tragedy. Let me regale you with tales of woe and triumph from the land of copper. Corruption, number 2, let me tackle corruption. And also I speak on firm ground as chairperson of APNAC and a member of SAPNAC. APNAC is Africa Parliamentarian Network Against Corruption, and I'm the chairperson of Zambia, and I'm also a board member of Southern Africa, APNAC. So the dark cloud of corruption looms large over Zambia, casting shadows on government institutions and public services. The last few days' occurrences at the Anti-Corruption Commission, SEC, with the public uproar, forced the resignation of the SEC Director General due to alleged corrupt activities, underscoring the deep-rooted levels of corruption in the country and not giving a good global image to Zambia. Transparency International's whispers speak of Zambia's lowly rank in the Corruption Perception Index, painting a picture of dishonest dealings and murky waters. Unbelievable. We talk of corruption anywhere else, and the people to monitor that corruption is the Anti-Corruption Commission. This country today is faced with dealing with the corruption at the anti-corruption itself. Item 3, let me tackle debt. The debt management drama unfolds as Zambia grapples with both domestic and external debt monsters of its own making, both during the past and growing during the current regime. The debt is from the past, but in the current regime it has not been stagnant, it has also been growing, if not at a faster rate. This government of the UPND spoke of how they detested debt, and partly that's how they decampaigned the PF out of power, rightly or wrongly so. But they have not done anything different. Instead of raising domestic revenue, instead of raising revenue from the mines, they actually gave away the revenue to the mine owners, and they've continued to borrow as well. The IMF whispers carry tales of debt distress and opaqueness in borrowing practices, leaving the country to give to the poor citizens starving in the rural areas, and then they carry the debt. We all have to take responsibility. In this talk of division and disunity in the nation, everyone that points a finger, just bear in mind that the thumb is pointing back at you. We are all to blame, all Zambians, but there's something we should all start to think to doing about it. Number 1, what am I recommending? Vanasera mwachere seni. Kumatero takwa venkoloko. No differences are insurmountable. The two are elephants of the nation. President HH, Dr. ECL, former president, the two are elephants of the nation, and their obvious continuous tiff or lack of harmony between the two of them only makes the rest of the 20 million citizens the grass. The two of them, if they are fighting, whether it's a real fighting or it's a Cold War fighting, the grass are the Zambian 20 million believe in him, and also some who believe in myself. This is more so for our PF party membership and other non-partisan citizens who look up to either or both of us. His Excellency HH should reach out to his brother ECL, and been full with people last 1 year. Reach out to President ECL, reach out to President ECL. Text messages were coming as far as rural areas. We need a national identity nurturing. Zambia should cultivate a shared national identity that transcends tribal, regional, and political divides. We need to find that one thing that should bind us together as Zambians. I am attached to the Pan-Africa Parliament. Reminds me, we watch on TV how Malema and the ANC, they attack each other in Parliament. But when we are at the Pan-Africa Parliament, they come representing South Africa and they take common position. In all the wars, they're supporting the Russia war, they've taken a stance, they're supporting, is it Russia? Malema supports that, and all the opposition supports that, and the ruling party supports that. In the Israel-Palestine war, South Africa government is pro the Palestine, and so is the EFF, the opposition. So when it comes to certain things, they unite. Anybody that helped them liberate out of apartheid, the ruling and the opposition, they unite and take a position as Zambia. Here you'd find if the ruling takes this position, it's automatic the opposition will take the opposite. If one side is pro-Russia, the other is pro-Ukraine. There's never one common thing as Zambians that we can say we hold together. Maybe football, even football. When Zambia loses, you find someone celebrating because so they blame the ruling party, or vice versa. Football traditionally has been one that's been uniting us. May we continue to make football unite us. We win together and we lose together. Item 7.6, what am I recommending? Education enlightenment. This government and Zambia in general, we need to illuminate the path of tolerance, appreciation, and diversity through educational initiative. Our curriculum vitae at all school levels should nurture love, peace, tolerance, reconciliation, and forgiveness. We cannot continue to be a nation of hardcore vengeance or revenge or retributions to each other when the path of reconciliation is what can let love lead for the good of the nation's economic growth. To reconcile with your foes is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. To say sorry is not a weakness, it's actually a strength. Those we should impart in our free education so that everybody, as they grow through, they understand that conflicts will happen, but reconciliation is noble. The Bemba say meeting kula pamo taibulo kwenshana. Trees that grow together, when there's wind, they'll brush. But when the wind is gone, they'll be calm. 7, I'm recommending and pointing out to the nation and those wielding power, we need a civil society empowerment. We all need to champion the cause of peace building and conflict support for civil society organization. We need to empower the civil society. We all need to champion the cause of peace building and conflict resolution through support for civil society organizations. Gone are the days when we had civil societies whose core role was to champion conflict resolution. most of them we have now are acting like political parties themselves. They are also polarized. Say that they are with the ruling party or they are with the opposition. And nobody is there to play the role of conflict resolution amongst the civil society. So as a nation, we need to take a deliberate step to empower the civil society to be able to do that. Conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, and dear listeners and dear viewers on Sampa TV or Boba TV. Somebody was telling me, they asked somebody that Kalanden kona mouth so that we start reconciling. That person is a lady, said, apparently a relative of mine, said, mouth kutakubika pa Boba TV. No. Everyone is welcome to approach. Boba TV is meant to disseminate good things that are happening in the communities, and it's not for picking out anybody. As the political play unfolds on the Zambia stage, as I conclude, as the political play unfolds on Zambia stage, may both intra and interpolitical divides have unity and reconciliation that should take the spotlight to guide the Republic. As the political play unfolds on Zambia's stage, may both intra and interpolitical divides have unity and reconciliation be the spotlight to guide the Republic of Zambia. May politics of love lead us all for the good of the majority of ordinary Zambians. May God bless Zambia, and I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President, for that wonderful, powerful speech.
Tumbwe, come here. I'm teaching you, you know, you need to stand in. You are the master of ceremony. Hamma man. Timba timbe.
I think we are going to move in this fashion. We'll ask our colleagues from the media to ask questions. I think we'll take the first three. I think you just help me raising your hand since I've seen you standing. Or Crown TV, the next, then you'll be the third. You can start up.
I think mine is very simple. My name is.
You addressed, you also condemned the aspect of providing, so ensuring that the fight against corruption in the country is inclusive as well as won from both spectrum, both the people as well as those that might be in the corridors of power.
Okay, the last question.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Matthew from Hotel. Yes, mine is just to find out. We know that you had engaged the sixth president, like Blessing had indicated, and of course you offered an amnesty in the name of reconciliation with other MPs, the 9 MPs. But some 2 days ago, there was information or news that those 9 MPs decided to take the matter of your eligibility as party president to court again. Don't you think this move is deepening, internal angles for the patriotic front?
Mr. President, I think you might answer our 3 questions.
Okay, I'll start with Crown TV. On the details of my visit to President, 60th President Dr. Edgar Chagwa Lungu. First of all, you realize that some of the concerns and within our party, the PF, from those that I've been working with, was that I went to that meeting alone without them. So with hindsight, that was wrong on my part, given what transpired. Then everybody does not know what was discussed, and a lot of speculations comes up. First of all, the visit was impromptu, was unplanned. I was with my other colleagues somewhere in Lusaka West, and we're chatting, some former ministers, and they made a phone call and they said, oh, let's go and see CEO, he's at this place. In my own judgment, I went, but no regrets. It was just breaking the ice. I was proactive, and I was just supposed to have a chat with him for a few minutes. It went on for 3 hours because there's so much to catch up. We have not spoken in 3 years. Remember, he was my president and I was his mayor. And beyond that, we both campaigned in 2011 in the opposition. He won in Chawama, I won in Matero. Honorable Given Luinda and Kawata, Honorable Jean Kapata and Mandevu. Yes, it was Gaisco. But that was the Lusaka team. We were campaigning as one team. So we bonded since then. So there was a lot to talk about. The party, all of us have made an undertaking. That's why you see me making these measures, to try and unite the party. So there was no details. It was just a brother visiting a brother. When President HH and President ECL meet and we see the pictures, the details actually should not be the issue. It's just that it will be seen that the ice has been broken and the two of them have discussed. When I met President ECL, the first 30 minutes I was with everybody in the room. Then we were left the two of us and we discussed as brothers. For 5 minutes, it went 1 hour. They were coming, knocking on the door. If they could come in, we tell them, no, go back. We're just talking generally and laughing. And that's what reconciliation is all about. From my part, Camnet, corruption, what are we doing about it? The UPND government entered, removed the PF in 2021. Corruption was one of the highlights that the PF was accused. And it showed corruption. The current ministers, the reason SAD actually did not put me as minister in 2011, even his son, CC, because then you're coming in between a lot of friends because of that. In Matero and elsewhere, you have people flying to Dubai just to go and have lunch and come back because they have stolen the money that should help the poor people. So anybody who loves the poor people of Zambia should condemn corruption.